Variables and identifiers. Variable names in Java are called identifiers. Identifiers start with a letter or underscore. There is no practical limit to the length of variables. Variable names are as long or as clear as needed to explain what the program is doing. The correct syntax for assigning data to an identifier is by using an equal sign as below. The type, and then the identifier, equal sign, and then the data, semicolon. So if we want to declare a variable that holds an age, you could write int, which is the type, age, which is the name of the variable or the identifier, the equal sign, and then the data we want it to hold, which in this case would be 30 years old. The data type is int, the identifier is age, and the data value is 30. Here are some more examples. We have char, first letter, equals b, double numpy equals 3.14, etc. Boolean am I very smart equals true. Cool. And then here we have int. We are using a very long identifier. Oh yes, we are. This is fine. Equals 4. This is very long, but it is allowed. Spacing before and after any operator or symbol is considered good style in Java. So here we have int, this is camel case, space, equal sign, space, 1 semicolon. So this is the correct spacing. This helps keep your code readable. Notice the difference when there are no spaces around the equal sign. So this looks all crammed together. It's preferred when writing in Java to use spacing correctly to help with ease of reading code. When declaring variables, there are certain rules we should follow. Identifiers, or variable names, should start with a lowercase letter or an underscore. Subsequent words should start with a capital letter. This is called camel case, and this is actually what it looks like. The first word will have a lowercase letter, but then any other words will have uppercase letters. Underscores are allowed anywhere in an identifier. Syntax rules. All declarations must end with a semicolon, and variables must be declared and initialized with values. Declaring char variables is slightly different than declaring numeric types. Single quotes must be used around the character you wish to store in the variable, as in the example below. Char letter equals single quotes A. Not using single quotes will cause a compiler error. Now let's examine these two examples. Char let 1 equals 97, char let 2 equals 97, but in single quotation marks. These are both legal, but one has unintended results. Only the second will store the value of 97. The first will yield a character from the ASCII chart, which we do not need to know. Java identifiers may not start with a digit, contain punctuation, be a keyword or a reserved word used by Java, or contain spaces. So all the following declarations are illegal. We can't start with a number. We can't have an apostrophe in the variable name. We can't name a variable long because long is a type. So this word is reserved by Java. Same here. So while is going to be a word that we're going to use when we're creating loops. Therefore, it cannot be a variable name. And then here we have int variable using spaces. You can't use spaces, but you could put underscores there instead. Here are some more examples of identifiers that are not allowed. Int this is camel case equals 1 because spaces are not allowed in the identifier. Int 2x equals 3 because identifiers cannot begin with a number. Both of the declarations above will cause a compiler error. While it is technically legal to start an identifier with a capital letter, it is not considered good practice. Later on in the course, we will be using capitalized words to name other constructs, so always begin variable names with lowercase letters. Here are some more examples of identifiers that are not allowed. Here we have long equals 3 and double while equals 5.9. Java reserved words are not allowed as identifiers. You cannot use long as an identifier because it is a data type. You cannot use while because that word is used for creating loops, which we will learn about soon. Your IDE will let you know if you've used a reserved word by turning it a different color and creating errors during compiling. Some other reserved words are final, super, return, and throws. You can look online to find a complete list.